Oh, hey, welcome to our podcast that doesn't have a name yet. I'm Travis, and I have with me
Luke.
And Evan. Don't touch the mic stand.
Don't kick the mic stand.
Just pull out a knife. Chink. No touchy.
Suck my finger. Fuck that guy.
Evan was saying that you should have taken the little knife as a...
I like this one.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Am I the only one confused about how Ant-Man got out of the quantum realm again?
Oh, yeah.
We'll find that
super
out.
Curious. They'll make that some sort of easy cop-out joke, though.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Just keep the sub-series alive, you know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
I like how the suits that they're wearing look a lot like Hank Pym's from Ant-Man and the Wasp when he went into the quantum realm.
I'd have to see a picture of those. You know what I thought they looked like? Iron Man suits from Ultron. Oh, there's a actual comparison. I guess I see that. I really do think that they look like the ones from Ultron. His Iron Legion suits from Ultron.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
I'd have to pull up a picture to officially call it out, but that's what I think it looks like.
Yeah. That just makes sense.
I agree.
Dude.
Also-
Other than that, I really didn't see much that really sparked my interest, but, I mean, I'm still waiting for it. I'm anticipating it.
Me too. I wonder what his big surprise was for Pepper. You think it could be her rescue armor?
I think it's him getting saved. I think it's him coming back to Earth. He's like, I was hoping I could pull off one more surprise, which was hoping to, get back alive. And then,
Could be.
right?
Yeah. I can see that.
What's wrong?
I mean, it could be right. I don't know.
Maybe
It's...
it's wrong. Maybe it's
I mean,
right.
I was
We
only
don't
going
know.
off of that because of the set image of Gwyneth Paltrow in... Well, first one was in a motion capture suit. The second one was in a suit that looked like a purple Iron Man armor.
Oh, curious.
Also, was that case Bishop that Hawkeye was teaching how to shoot a bow? Or was mentoring?
Well, that was his daughter in the video.
Daughter.
Are you sure?
Well, his daughter could become Bishop when she's revived from all of this. But I think that was supposed to be his daughter.
Well, you see, I think you're right. You see that, and then you see him in Japan, Tokyo. Are we really sure it's the decimation that killed his family? I mean, that's...
Question mark. They might lead us into that trail, but they haven't done anything for us to think one way or another.
Oh, what a devastating emotional end for Hawkeye. Like, they reverse the snipe, everybody comes back, no family.
Like they died prior to.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go that dark because they want us to feel happy at the end of the movie, unlike at the end of Infinity War where they wanted us to feel defeated. But at the same time, because Thanos was the protagonist of that character, he's the one that does the most emotional change. I think that because of him overcoming, you also feel a sense of victory in that moment. That it's equally as sad and victorious because you found yourself rooting for Thanos because through all the other themes of the villains, you find yourself beginning to show compassion for them or understanding with them.
Right.
You start to relate to them. And then suddenly there's this one who shows up and he's like, I am the ultimate of understanding, hating, causing the biggest problems, but for the most quote-unquote righteous reasons.
Absolutely. It's only the only two real villains that actually succeeded within the MCU, because there's him and Zemo completed exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's why they gave us Zemos. They wanted us to see that bad guys are going to win. They gave us each Marvel MCU villain to give us a different piece of what was going to be
So
within their final villain.
The dialogue between Everett Ross and Zemo at the very end of Civil War, when he's gloating to Zemo that they caught him, he's like, "Looks like you've lost." Oh, Zemo.
He begs the question.
Yeah.
Did I really lose? Because your greatest heroes are apart.
That's what it was.
It's somewhere in those. Yeah.
It's along those lines.
Absolutely.
There's really, I mean, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now, really.
That's okay.
I mean, I really can't.
Callback to Ultron. Again, I was watching it the other night because I wanted to I've been watching the other two, and I'm going to watch the third Avengers just to kind of prepare again because I know that they've put parallels all the way through. Tony already references a need for war against aliens and things like that
Yeah.
before it all happens. And then knowing that Fury knew about aliens prior to the attack, I want to know what references they made backwards towards that, as well as forwards towards like Endgame. And so one of the ones that they talk about is that Tony's talking about the threat from up above. He's like, you know, the wormhole that was up there, like the thing that I threw a nuke through, and they're all like, no, don't know anything about that. That scene where he's like, how are you planning on beating that? And Captain America thinks he's inspiring and cute, and he goes, together. And Tony goes, we'll lose.
That's a
stab. Yeah, that's a stab at Infinity War, where they weren't together, so they lost. And when they lost, they weren't together either. So now they're like this entirely separated group, and we know they're going to come back together and win. All right, like most likely they're going to come back together and win over this devastating loss that they've put out.
Absolutely.
But the stab is in the end. So they make that reference, and then in the end of the movie, Ultron's like, "How are you planning on beating me?" And Iron Man gives him a best friend look, and he goes, like the old man said, together. And like that's another jab at they have to be together to win. And because they were so separated, not only after Civil War, but physically with Thor and Hulk being elsewhere, and Iron Man running off with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange to go fight Thanos on his home world, they were separated. He was on Sakaar when they were separated.
Oh, with Civil War, yeah.
And then he was with Thor at the beginning of the movie, and then he separates from Thor. And the Guardians were never really a part of the Avengers, so.
They just kind of appeared.
But yeah, so like they lost apart because they were apart,
Right.
and they're gonna win together.
With the power of friendship.
And good manners.
Yeah.
Mr. Thanos, sir, could you please unsnap all our dead friends? Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's
Right.
I'm just thinking of the Mr. Carlson's when he talks about what the League of Nations did in the beginning of World War II. He's like, they couldn't do much. They just sent a strong worded letter of protest to Hitler. Like, dear Mr. Hitler, please stop what you're doing. Love, League of Nations.
You know, like we really like the part where you thought the military would help your government, and like we really like that you pulled your government out of a depression. Like, way to go, you guys are fantastic. But you're also making a lot of weapons, and we noticed that you took Poland. So like, stop.
So please, stop. We're just gonna have to stop you right there.
We would just like really like to ask you that like we understand, and you can totally keep Poland. We didn't beat you to the punch and to tell you not to. So since that wasn't clear, we're gonna let you have it. But like, could you please just stop there? What an awkward way to phrase that, and yet.
I wonder, like, for me, what's going to make or break an Endgame is if one of the original Avengers doesn't die. Like, one of them has to die.
You feel that strongly about it?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they took the chance to do so. They would have every opportunity to give us a really cinematic, like, what if one of them has to give themselves up to reverse it with the gauntlet because Thanos refuses, kind of thing.
That's
So
what I was
like
thinking.
Tony or Cap puts it on and like tries to do it. I wouldn't be that surprised if that was something that they did. I mean, that'd be really cool and it'd be really emotional and it would fit the theme. So I'm on your side, just not as strongly as you are, because I might actually have an issue if that's the case.
I think with the cover art that Endgame has with Tony wearing that suit that has all the Infinity Stones in it, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, he's probably going to die because he's going to activate that and it's going to totally destroy him and the suit.
Fair enough.
That's what I was thinking.
Where they're going with those nice white suits, like, what's the plan with those?
I actually have a theory about that, because disclaimer on this whole trailer, everything we saw was a lie. And you know how I know? Because when they did Infinity War, everything we saw was a lie.
Not everything.
I beg to differ. I didn't see no army of Avengers running out of the forest with Hulk running around. All right? That's a big fucking lie.
What if that's actually a scene from... I'm just kidding. No, yeah, that's fair. Not everything in the trailers we saw is like, we still saw Loki step over the dead Asgardians and hand the Space Stone to Thanos, and Thanos just crush it with his hand like a badass.
There were some things, but there were a lot of things that were not accurate. So, like, I actually imagine that the suits are covering up their new looks for in-game rather than a team look as a speculation. Because like the suits are like they're cool, but like the Avengers never really had like team suits.
Why would they cover them up if they should reveal all the suits on the poster? Because they released a poster with it that shows them all in their new garbs, especially Captain America. I love the scales on it.
I don't know. I actually didn't see the poster. So
Yeah, I'll show it to you
you
later.
should pull it up. Yeah. Interesting. I might have to take that opinion back.
I wonder if they can be like.
I mean,
Then again, I can't see how the
It
quantum.
does
realm-
play into the together thing, though.
yeah.
You know, like the we'll win together.
Well,
theme
win
of the time.
together.
I want to see Hulk get some revenge because
On
Hulk's
Thanos?
not a pansy, and I
True.
would really like to see him throw him around a little bit.
Well, that's not.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. I thought of a theory for Hulk not being in Infinity War, and I think it has more validity than he's scared of Thanos or he's tired of being Bruce's slave. I think it plays into that one a little bit, but I don't think it's just that he's like afraid of Thanos.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's just he's tired of Bruce telling him what to do. I think so. In Avengers, when he shows up, he feels mass amounts of shame and awkwardness about people wanting the Hulk. He wants them to have nothing to do with them. And he just continues to feel this shame. One moment, I'll go check that out.
Okay.
He continues to feel this shame as he travels through that movie. Even
Yeah.
after the end of the war for New York, he still carries shame. I mean, he opens up in Ultron, and they're like, the gates of hell are filled with his, the screams of his fallen, and he goes, oh man, he still feels shame for the Hulk's actions. He doesn't like being the Hulk, and he actively puts shame on the Hulk for his actions. I think as they start to develop, because they're communicating now, that's never happened. We've never seen them talk. So obviously, after Ragnarok, like they establish a connection that's already been a thing for a while. It's just not as strong.
Right.
So I think that basic connection shows like Banner's emotions on Hulk and Hulk's emotions on Banner, which is why he recognizes Betty, which is why he recognizes the Avengers and can target and focus. Is that there's an emotional attachment, a very basic lizard brain, good, bad, like, no like kind of setup. And then it goes stronger from there. So things like, instead of being like and no like, it's like friend, not friend. And it gets more and more to the point where like Hulk's mildly close to like a 3-year-old in Ragnarok, where they've emotionally developed him. So I think Banner projects his shame onto Hulk. And when Hulk made the decision, because Hulk made the decision to leave Earth in the Quinjet at the end of Avengers, meaning that after he destroyed the city and was fully released to be entirely emotionally free of Banner's guilt and shame, he feels guilt and shame because of what Banner feels. Like it's more so than Banner's ever projected onto Hulk. And Hulk feels the same shame and understands on a basic level why Banner feels that way, which is why he leaves. Hulk doesn't say, Banner, oh, you're right, you can just come back. He goes, here's how I'm going to fix it. Because I don't want to let go. He's like, I still want to be Hulk. Hulk won't be Hulk. But here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to hijack this thing, and this thing will take me where I want to go. And he ends up on Sakaar, where he's been the Hulk for a while, long enough to develop and create, like emotionally create bonds
Right.
with people. And though he shut Banner in the trunk, I still think he feels Banner's emotions, which is why Banner starts slowly collecting over what has happened the last 2 years during the course of Ragnarok. So I think at the end of, I think in Infinity War, when he shows up, he's not scared of Thanos. He's feeling Banner's shame and guilt, and he feels shame and guilt for being on Earth again. And he's sad that he's like scared to come out because he doesn't want people to hate him any more than they already do.
Bruce Banner. This one I thought was kind of funny when he comes back to Earth. It's never mentioned. Doesn't he have a warrant out for Banner's arrest
Probably, yeah,
Technically, yeah.
after his little brutal rampage in Wakanda?
right. Yeah, for real though. But, oh yeah,
I think
so
she's supposed to have died or something.
Endgame, yeah. Final thoughts.
Oh, right.
We'll
Endgame.
wrap that.
I'm excited, as I mean, I've been excited for it to come out. I mean, it's the ending for one of Marvel's
Definitely.
largest events.
Yeah.
So
It's just to set up the future.
yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna keep being excited for it until it comes out.
Yeah.
Feels
So
cool,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks so much for coming in here, guys.